I'm just gonna come out and say it.
I love bad games, but not the regular AAA cash grabs. I'm talking about the ones you most definitely haven't heard of. Stuff you'd only find if you actually looked for it. Get more on the bad games of Steam. You're probably thinking to yourself, what's wrong with this guy? And while my therapist and I have been wondering the same thing for years, I think it's finally time that I set the record straight on why someone like myself likes to indulge in what could only be described as the Wild West of PC games.
Boo, this game sucks. Boo.
Also, making this video gave me some kind of malware, so if you used my credit card in the past week, you are welcome. When I first experienced what could be considered a bad game, it wasn't through Steam, you see, it was the Xbox Live Marketplace. Honestly, you could only play so much Minecraft and Call of Duty before you start to wonder, what else could there be? Then I remembered, wait a minute, this is an Xbox, not a PlayStation, so there's definitely got to be more than 2 games. And I was right, because on the Xbox Live Marketplace, there were tons of indie games you could try. And from that point onward, it was a downward spiral into trying some of the most weird things I've ever seen. To be honest with you, most of them sucked, but some were okay. I remember playing this really weird Minecraft clone called Fortress Craft, made by an individual. I also remember loving this game called White Noise. I think it was some kind of multiplayer horror game, and it had proximity chat, which made it very funny. Way too early for its time, though.
It's me. Oh, hell nah, pull up.
I actually have a video of 16-year-old me playing these games, which I have specifically instructed my editor to leave out of this video, and I'm not going to unprivate it.
I have been informed by my boss that he has a strong desire to withhold history from you, the viewer's delicate seeing devices. Well, Fat, I've got news for you. Your script isn't long enough to hit the coveted 8-minute time slot, meaning we can't place mid-roll ads, meaning 1, you're ugly, 2, you're stupid, and 3, your obesity will not prevent me, Pinoy, editor of the Noctapus channel, to shroud the viewer's eyes in a veil of your octopus bullshit. I also want money. And thus, I have breached the main Noctapus data frame, liposuctioned your boyhood, and edited a 25-second collection of your 12-year-old self to embarrass you on the internet. Because I want money.
How come we're not... Okay, how do I go? Oh, I got it. Okay. What? Oh, no. I can't even get hit. What's going on? Again, I hate this game.
Would you like another drink?
I shouldn't stay out too late.
Dude, take it to the restroom.
Who would say that?
No, Luca. Fine, just eat my breakfast.
Who would buy this garbage?
The important thing here is that I got to experience games of all sorts, and while not all of them were great, some were pretty fun, so I learned to temper my expectations. No! Which nowadays is definitely something you should do if you like playing new games. Fast forward to today, and I have Steam. You see, Steam is the king of gaming, but it also only wants to show me things that I'm probably gonna buy. Sure, I can go to the front page, but instead of looking at all the personalized list or the new and trending tab, I like to look at all releases every single day. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of games that go unnoticed released on Steam every week, and this is my homeland. Before I go into this tab though, I have to mentally prepare myself, because this is a place that has games like Skibbity Cat Rooms and Poland Car Simulator. I know these games are not going to change my life, and no, they're not going to be super polished. 99.9% of the times, these aren't going to have some kind of deep philosophical meaning like Outer Wilds, or the graphical fidelity of Monster Hunter, or the mechanical complexity of Elden Ring. Personally, I'm a fan of the horror games, so I gravitate towards playing those, especially on stream. She's giving birth.
Oh, hell no.
Gotta react to the birth video. That's freaking awesome. But the thing is, I'm not really going into playing these horror games expecting to be scared. Usually there's cheap jump scares, but most of the time there are things that are unintentionally funny. Like this scene from Garten of Banban.
Enough is enough.
Oh shit! What the fuck? I'm sure that this was supposed to be some big pivotal moment for the plot for all 3 fans, but I just laughed the whole time. It's just ridiculous. Maybe this is satire and the devs pull my leg, who knows? But for most of these games, I like to watch the trailers first, because for these games, what you see is usually what you get. There's not always these cinematic masterpieces that you get in game, and it's the worst thing you've ever seen. You see the game, and then that's it, and then you buy it and you play it, and oh, it's the same thing. This game is kind of how I imagine the behind-the-scenes shots look like at Mr. Beast videos. Eventually, you'll get pretty good at spotting what could be worth trying out, but until then, it is complete RNG. The true enlightenment that I think this bestowed upon me is realizing that modern games are just as buggy as the one in Steam's new releases. But that's not the only reason, because to me, when I play these, there's a like weird nostalgia that these games have. They draw me in. And unless it's a stylistic choice, a lot of these games have, I don't mean to be mean here, but it's like an unpolished charm quality to them. I'm not trying to be mean. They can look great sometimes. Prove it, give birth. But I don't think it's a bad thing. You're always going to gamble on whether this looks like that or an asset flip most of the time. It kind of reminds me of playing games like Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time, and I know half of you are going to hate me for that comparison, I know. But there's this weird liminal space vibe, I guess, I don't know how else to explain it, that these games have, where sometimes it's not a lot of detail, but the atmosphere is still really strong. And I think it's echoed a lot into these games on this part of Steam. The budgets behind these games are pretty low to non-existent because they can range from student projects to someone injecting viruses on your computer to, I don't know, crypto bro games using AI reviews. There's all sorts of stuff. Okay, so the point of this is I pick up a bottle and then what? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this. This game stinks. Oh, usually can tell if these games are just trying to rip off something that was successful, like Only Up 2, Only Up Girl Edition, Only Up Skibbity. There are tons of these. And also, I said Skibbity 2 times in one video. I'm gonna be honest, guys, this channel's really going downhill. Besides the graphics, though, I have some kind of weird debuff that makes me discover any weird soft lock for almost any game I play. I broke it! Luckily, I grew up loving games like Skyrim and Fallout, so the silly amount of ragdolling or weird glitches trained me for this moment. It really isn't that big of a deal to me. And listen, I'm not trying to make my main point, these games are shitty and the only way to play them is to laugh at them. I just feel like sometimes it's refreshing to play something that isn't perfect all the time. Not to say that AAA games are perfect by any means, but you know what I mean. If I fall through the floor, it's not a big deal. If I soft lock, I can just restart from a checkpoint. If it was really expensive, then I could get a refund, and most of the time these are cheap or even free. This is also a refund, I'm not gonna lie. I can't move anymore. And for the last reason, I think we need to talk about the term bad. Because to me, bad is subjective, and a lot of these games are not that bad. Do a lot of them suck? Hell yes they do. God, some of these are the worst games I've ever played, but don't get me wrong, a majority are not horrible either. And I don't want to be the guy that goes, oh, there's some underrated games hidden in the depths of Steam. That would have been a good title. But it's actually true. I already know most of you aren't going to believe me when I say Ball of Poo is a pretty unique take on being an Only Up clone. There's a criminally underrated swinging platformer called Mochi a Girl with an amazing OST, and at the time of recording, it has like 6 reviews, man. Chooksy, I don't know, is one of the weirdest and funniest horror games I've ever played. It has boss fights, I don't even know how to describe this. I tried playing this game, it looked cool, but my computer exploded. Dead Christmas Santa, you get a gun and shoot goblins. I just played Ruined Nurse the other night and had one of the best plots I've ever experienced. Honestly, this one rivals Resident Evil. I don't think she want the internet installed. Would it be better for me to just leave? True. How can it be? Set up the internet! What's going on? Every day there's being games released on Steam, and I go through this list fairly often. So if you ever want to do it yourself and you're feeling frisky to try No Man's Land, have some kind of antivirus, look at the reviews to see if they're AI, they're fairly obvious and they exist now, and try to have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Most of these games are like $2. Thank you to the patrons this month. You guys are amazing. If you're watching this and want to watch another video of mine where I suffered and reviewed Hollow Knight, check out this video.
Dude, take it to the restroom.